and call the meeting to order. Okay, others will join. And we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Handy dandy colors here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all. Two. I just want to wish a happy belated birthday to the United States Air Force. Thanks for keeping me jumping.
Let's see, there's two of us that are Air Force here, right? Myself and Dave. Anybody else?
Oh, so how many candles is it?
47.
47?
No, since
we came in 1947.
Yeah, 1947. How many candles?
Well,
76. That's the spirit.
No, you have to do that on a calculator, didn't you? Yeah,
I absolutely did. Yeah,
I know you Air Force guys. You're remote control.
I saved the brain matter for more important things like veteran service.
All right. So taking attendance, how many? Who we missing here?
We're missing Christy, Bill Curran, and that's it.
Christy and Bill. Okay. Hopefully they'll join us soon. And I'm sure Mr. Dombrowski will join us as he sees fit. Okay. Mr. VSO, you're up.
Yes. Okay then. Good evening, everyone. The Veterans Monthly Food and Dry Goods Support Program will be held tomorrow, September 20th, behind the Senior Center from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. All 27 applicants have been notified by the fire volunteer Nancy Jenny. And I think I took the attendance on this, be like 24 will be coming actually, although 27 have been notified. Of course, if any veteran, spouse, or immediate family member of a veteran would like to participate in this program, please call our office for further information, 781-246-6377, so you can be included in the drive-through and the pickup. The products are offered through the Greater Boston Food Bank and have a selection of meats, vegetables, and canned goods. Support for this program and dry goods are contributed by the Wakefield Food Pantry. The monthly Veterans Coffee Social was held Saturday, September 16th, here at the McCarthy Center, and the turnout was very good. The discussions range from the length of time the VA is taking to resolve claims, to property tax abatement issues for the service-connected veterans, to the various documents needed when applying for appeals. We had veterans from all branches of the service attending from not only Wakefield, but Reading, Saugus, and Melrose, including the District Director of Veteran Services, Roseanne Trionfi Mazzucchelli, who contributed to the discussion and answered some questions. On behalf of the continued donations of donuts and coffee, we awarded Derek Robinson, the owner of the Honeydew Coffee and Donut Shop on Lake Quannapowitt, with a citation for his continued support for over 2 years. We also gave him, from our donated veterans array of patriotic items, a large bronze eagle, like the real one that resides on the lake. He was thrilled. We also gave away to the participants from the donated military items, hats, figurines, flags, and patches. After the social, several of the veterans came upstairs and assisted in organizing the items for storage. The VAB has been asked by one of our Wakefield veterans who has fallen on financial hardships to assist in paying the family electric bill of $956.04 from the Veterans Relief Fund, of which we currently have $12,419.64. Please vote on this measure this evening, and I will have the accounting office cut the check for the WMGLD for the one-time payment to assist this troubled family. This Vietnam veteran, was in my office yesterday, on Monday, to apply for the VA benefits, as he more than qualifies, I believe, the compensation for his medical conditions relative to the PACT Act, which was signed on January 1st of this year. And as I have mentioned each month, under Chapter 115 of Mass General Laws, and the Commonwealth provides a uniform program of financial and medical assistance for veterans and their dependents. Qualifying veterans and their dependents receive necessary financial assistance for food, shelter, clothing, fuel, and medical care in accordance with a formula that takes into consideration the number of dependents and income from all sources. For appointments to Veteran Services, please contact me with any questions you may have regarding ongoing benefits or submissions of new benefits. We're located downstairs, the rear entrance of the Senior Center of 30 Converse Street, Wakefield, and is by appointment only. The Veteran Service hours of operation are Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Holidays on Monday hours will be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Unless the holidays are Monday, in which case it will be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Voicemails and checks 7 days a week at my number, 781-246-6377. Now, one other note, which I was going to bring up on the turnaround, but I might as well do it now since I'm talking. There's going to be a veterans table here on the Senior Resource Fair, providing information on the Chapter 115 benefits and the VA claims on where's the date here? On the 10th, October 25th, from 10 to 1. I will be in training in Leominster, so I won't be able to attend there, but I'm looking for someone to man the table from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Prior, I will provide all the paperwork and information as handouts on both the 115 benefits and VA claims, if any one of us or you folks could take that position for me. So there's two things that we're looking at: a vote for the financial hardship, and I need someone to man the table on the 25th of October here at the Senior Center. And also, there's going to be a breakfast. I don't have it here. Oh, here it is. November 7th, I'm having a veterans breakfast sponsored by the Bear Hill Rehabilitations here at the Senior Center at 9 a.m. And I'm going to bring this up again and send out emails on it, because we must have pre-registrations for catering purposes by November 1st. So that being said, I will be bringing this up again during the month of October for that event. Any questions? Sounds good. Thank you.
Paul, can we just take care of the August minutes as a vote matter?
Yeah.
Yes, we can do that. So so there's a motion to take care of August minutes.
Second it.
Okay.
Okay. All those in favor of the August minutes as posted, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any nay? No? Okay.
Thank you.
Motion passes. So Dave is also asking for a motion to provide some assistance for a veteran from the Wakefield Veterans Relief Fund. Just to do a little bit of math, that's about a 7% of the total Wakefield Relief Fund. Okay, just to let people know in terms of percentages, those of you that like numbers. Is there a motion to go ahead and present that for discussion from those of us on the board?
I'll make a motion that we
I'll second the motion.
do whatever we have to do.
So, yeah. So this is as I understand it, David, this is a one-time grant, just as a
one-time grant for this particular veteran. Also, Paul Fazina, a World War II and Korea War veteran, 101st Airborne, 87th Airborne, also did pass away last week, and his family called me today. They're going to be making a donation to the Veterans Relief Fund. how what is that? I mean, they didn't know anything about this, and here it comes around, you know? So there'll be some money put back into that relief fund, so. Thank you very much if that's gonna pass. I mean, I assume it's going to.
How long has it been since we gave out some money from the relief fund?
About a year ago, so,
And I'm sure Dave has vetted him, and so we know he needs it.
absolutely. And he was in my office, and I've already submitted him, for the benefits. He would only qualify for medical only for the chapter 115, at this point. And I did submit his paperwork in for him, but at the time, he was denied the claims originally a year ago because he failed to show up for his appointments. In which case, what I did was I refiled it with a new 4138 document explaining that he was in financial difficulty, did not have a car, and he has a son who is disabled, and he could not make any of the appointments. So we're rescheduling him, and we're gonna get this moving. So we should be back in the speed within a few months.
Any other questions or any other points for discussion?
You said that was like 7% of the fund balance or something. Is that what you said?
So David right now is running at $12,419.64 is the balance. There's more money coming in. 945 is roughly 7% of the $12,419.64.
We know, you didn't get a number from, I knew the Vacinas were making a donation. I did not know how much it was or that it would come this quickly. Where he just with his services are on Friday, so I was surprised that it's already here.
The money hasn't been given to us yet, Marion.
Okay.
I believe they're going to do it in lieu of donation flowers.
Okay.
They're gonna put the money, they called me this morning, we set that up. So
Oh, all
they're
right.
coming in to see Mary Ann to drop a check off at that time, so.
Okay, thanks.
Like I was saying before, I think you might look into the Boyd Fund that the town has, any future needs of a veteran.
Do we need to take a vote? So we have a motion and a second to disperse the funds?
So the next step is just a motion to, go ahead and do the motion to take a vote on the disbursement of the funds.
All right, I move.
Okay, I'll second that.
Oh, Christian.
All those in favor of $945 going from the Veterans Relief Fund to the veteran for assisting with the electric and
It's
bill?
It's Paul, sorry, it's 95804. That's the exact amount.
Okay,
So
I
noted.
have the document and everything else, I'll submit it.
Okay,
so the motion is to allocate $958.04 from the Veterans Relief Fund to the veteran to minimize the hardship that he has in terms of paying his utility bill and a family electric bill. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes.
Thank you.
David, before I let you go, October 7 is Wakefield Day. What are we calling it? Help me out, Dan.
Yeah, I know, I just sent some information out on that, I have it logged in my calendar.
Town Day.
Town Day, very good,
Town
yeah,
Day.
yeah. Town Day. And I saw the letter you sent out there today, so.
Yeah, so basically what happened last year, we got a table for the veterans. It was in the town of Wakefield area. There were kind of two splits on the U. One was Chamber of Commerce and the merchants, and then there was the Wakefield and the gas and electric and all those guys. So each one of the committees had a table. What we need some help with on Saturday, the 7th of October, is manning that table. I don't know the exact hours yet. I think it's like from 10 to 3. 10 to go ahead and set that up. It's a fun day. I did it last year. I'm willing to do it this year. If I'm available, I have to check my calendar. Dave Mangan's going to be there, the VSO. Are you bringing your speakers, David?
My speakers.
For music and, you know, all the military music and everything else?
I could bring I could bring my my little yeah, I can bring something, yeah.
Oh, okay. But there, last year, Counselor Vincent and I were at the table. Miriam came over for a little bit. It was actually a great time to meet a lot of people and meet a lot of citizens and just get to know other people in town. So if you can provide an hour at the table, that's fine. I know we all have families, we all have obligations. Counselor Vincent and I planned to be there an hour. We ended up staying for the whole time because we couldn't stop talking to each other. That was the first time I really got a chance to meet.
I think it's actually 12 to 3 or 4. It's not that long.
Yeah, okay. I think setup is like 11 or something like that. I'd have to get back on the times and schedules and things like that. I went ahead and submitted the form to Jen McDonald, hoping she's the right person to go ahead and take that on. But just information, if you're interested, please send David and I an email. Like to see your families, like to see you guys and participate. And I will say one of the things that the public does look for with the veterans, and I'm going to say this in a weird way here. I don't ever consider myself one of the old guys, but I'm rapidly becoming one. It's good to see the younger veterans and their families at these types of tables and events, okay, because it does inspire the younger people, okay, to ask some questions. You know, they look at David and, you know, David talks about his experiences in Vietnam. They look at me and talk about their experiences in Korea, you know, and I'm like, I'm not that old. But it's good to see the veterans that have recently served and their families so that the public can kind of sort of interact with us and understand what we went through for deployments and family and education and, you know, jobs and, you know, the difference between the National Guard, the reserves and active duty and all that kind of stuff. Those are great conversations to have with members of the public. And, you know, I encourage you to come to just devote a little bit of your time to share your knowledge about the military with the public. Okay. Let's see. We did the minutes and we did the VSO. Let's go around the horn. We've got quite a bit to talk about. So I'll start with Dan.
Thanks.
No problem.
Dave, do we have anything that we can give out maybe at the table on?
I sure do.
Those plaques or something that we got a million.
Bring that up. I've got a case of those flags for the windows. I've got too many of those, so I'm gonna bring a box of those. And I've got dozens and dozens of the refrigerator magnets with the wooden background of every branch of the service. And what I'm gonna bring, I'll bring over a lot of giveaway stuff. It'll be very nice. Be very good.
Okay. So kind of an informal vote to follow up on what Dan just said. Is there anybody opposed to doing the table?
Not opposed to do it. I'm just not available on the 7th.
Oh, no, just asking.
Yeah, no.
I'll count that as a vote and collectively as a board, we support it. Okay.
Wait, Paul, sorry, I stepped away from the screen for a second. What did we just collectively support and vote?
The table for Town Day on October 7th.
Got it. Okay.
We did an informal vote looking for those that were opposed to it. and none were opposed. So we're gonna look at our schedules to see what we can do to support it.
I have to, as far as I know, I have to be, like I did last year, part of the time at the West Side table. If I can corner some guys to be down there instead of me, then I will be up there, but I'll get up there for at least an hour at some point.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll be in Canada for the Thanksgiving weekend.
I wish I was going to be in Canada for the Thanksgiving weekend.
I am too, Dan. Do you want to carpool? I'm
supposed
gonna
to
be in
be.
Canada too for that. We should carpool, Dan.
It's the last boat of the year I'm coming back on, so.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm gonna turn the next, Dan, are you done? Anything
Yes.
else? Okay. I'm gonna point to Chris, bring you up. What do you got for us, Chris?
So I know you in the agenda, the proposed agenda, you talked about taking a vote soon on the social media stuff also. Am I proposing that now, or is that coming soon?
This is good now.
Okay. I guess I'm unclear on what exactly we're voting on. Is it the content of the page, the types of things that we'll be sharing, or is it having the page in general? I'm unclear on exactly what we're voting on.
Well, why don't you just explain again? This is a public forum. Explain, like there was a room full of people that don't know what just happened with social media and the Veterans Advisory Board page.
Okay, you got it. So a couple of months ago, we kind of talked very briefly about outreach and trying to engage younger veterans, to your point earlier, sir. You pointed me in the right direction, in the direction of Jen McDonald, the town communications director. She encouraged a social media page. She said that the town, and I'm going to paraphrase here, hopefully I'm not misquoting her, but she said the town appreciates when boards and committees have social media pages to give them a voice and let them engage with our citizens. So she went ahead and created one for us with her as an admin, and I have admin privileges also. Just for now, I haven't done anything other than just say the page is live, but some things, right, I would propose as topics, as shareable information. Her goal, she said, was about 3 to 5 posts per week. I think that's probably maybe a bridge too far. But I think realistically, I could probably get 1 to 3 out with her also sharing generic things and resharing other agencies' information. But I thought some things, and I'll just run through a quick list and then I can repeat anything you have questions about. I thought some things would be highlighting Wakefield's veterans, like introducing them, kind of like a spotlight or a feature, a monthly feature or something, both deceased and living. Showcasing our veteran-centric landmarks like monuments, memorials, cemeteries, graves, fields, parks, and the buildings. AmeriCal Civic Center, right, is obviously one. Landrigan Field is named after a Marine veteran. We have all these great monuments and things that maybe not everybody knows the significance. Even the Galvin Middle School is named after, right, 4-star General Galvin, and sharing about those people so that the town, so that our citizens feel the connection that maybe some of them don't currently have. Celebrating federal holidays that are generally associated with the veteran community: Flag Day, services, birthdays, Independence Day, Veterans Day, Memorial Day, Gold Star, Family Day, Purple Heart Day, things like that. In line with current conversations on flag displays, sharing information about federal flag etiquette. What are the do's and don'ts with wearing it as an article of clothing or displaying it at night, displaying it on Memorial Day? How do you retire the colors once once they're worn, right? How do you properly, and it's destroy them essentially, is how do you retire them? Sharing information about the VSO meetings, where they're happening, what the topics are going to be, resharing your talking points, Mr. Mangan. Hailing and farewelling our active duty troops as they go, maybe to a stateside location or overseas. Providing information on special license plates. Massachusetts has a lot of special license plates. I think some people don't know what they are. You could drive past somebody who has a POW license plate or a Silver Star license plate and not realize the significance behind it, right? What that driver, that occupant has sacrificed for the country. And I think that's another kind of fun Massachusettsy one. And then last one I propose would be like sharing veteran owned or veteran friendly businesses. There are, I think, little blue squares on some of the businesses in town. If they are veteran friendly or veteran owned, and I may be messing that up a little bit, but sharing about those businesses and incentivizing, kind of that thing. So that was a lot I just threw at you. I rambled a little bit. I'm trying to read from the list here, and then resharing content from other agencies. Arlington National Cemetery has a great social media page. The Department of Veterans Affairs, the Mass Army National Guard, the Mass Fallen Heroes Memorial, all of these local agencies put out a lot of information that veterans, relatives, friends, family of veterans, those empathetic to the veteran or appreciative of the veteran community may be interested in learning about and resharing some of those. So that's a lot. I think maybe it's appropriate first, if anybody has any questions about it, before I, maybe we discuss some of the yays and nays of the things I proposed there. Any questions?
100% for it.
Pretty good. Every single
Supportive.
thing, every area you brought up is perfect. It's good.
Okay.
So we gonna vote to approve the use of it, to the concept, or what kind of a vote do you anticipate, Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Chairman anticipates, I've got a list of questions, but to kind of go forward with this, some of my questions, I'll go ahead and propose them. One thing that I would add to your list, Chris, is a welcome home. You said, the Wakefield veterans, to kind of spotlight them.
Yep.
I'll let you in on a secret. Dave Mangan does know the veterans that come home. Okay, especially with the National Guard and the local. That information is available through the VSOs. We get that. We can post that information also on the webpage. So here's my big concern. Who is the administrator of the web page, and who can post on the web page and who cannot post on the web page?
So as far as administrators, right now it's Jen McDonald and me.
Okay.
She can make other people administrators. They just have to read the social. I'm gonna the social media policy, right? The do's and don'ts of having a government social media page. Now anybody can like content we post, can comment on it, because it is a town, right? It's a town site. I don't want to misrepresent here, misinform you on what happens if somebody puts something inappropriate up. The way it made it sound is that there are very limited things you can do to moderate content. If somebody were to comment on a post we made, if we said Happy Veterans Day and somebody didn't like Veterans Day and said something inappropriate, there's very little we can do, I think, to moderate that content. Well, like any of the town pages, they get pretty heated.
Yeah, so I've seen some of the stuff on some of the town pages, and the administrators basically make a decision that says, that's inappropriate. Thank you very much, and we'll take it down. But another question that I have is, Wakefield, Utah, and I'm making that up, but what's to stop somebody from another state dialing in and posting to our website and to our Facebook page, and whether it be appropriate or not appropriate? I know it's a town asset, but because it's on the World Wide Web, it's global, okay, which can be good and can be challenging to maintain the good, okay? How do we go about doing that?
So I think I'm going to try to answer this, and I'm going to have to defer to Jen McDonald, I think, but I do also run another government page right now, and things like that, somebody may create spam content or try to advertise on the page. Those types of things where there may be malicious intent behind them, I am able to remove them and block those people from the page. Now, with Jen McDonald being the administrator, I wouldn't be comfortable doing that for our page. I would defer those types of actions to her because she obviously knows more about it than I do.
Well, I think you just have to make sure whoever the administrators are, whether it's Jen and Chris, is there checking them. I mean, it's unfortunate that you have to do that, but that they have to check them daily to make sure that people don't get in and post things that are, nasty or controversial or against what the page is all about. That's the tough part about being an administrator. It's a constant thing to have to constantly check and make sure and take that kind of a thing down. But it's that way on just about all the pages that I know of. People get into them. It's up to the administrator to control that.
I may be
These
mistaken, but
types
there
of
are
pages, I get a notification the second somebody comments or shares something or tags us, and she would get the same notification. I get them immediately, and then you can just click on the notification. It brings you right to that action. And if it's a spam thing, somebody trying to sell something, or somebody with malicious intent, you can delete it right away.
there are pages too also that I actually am a member of a couple of groups online that you can set a setting, I believe, where all admin have to approve all posts. So if I posted something and it was something that you approved of, then it can go through as soon as you guys click yes. But if somebody was to post some nefarious matter, then you guys would get it. It might be 12 hours later, and if it's something you don't want, you can just hit delete and it never sees the light of day. I don't know how to do that, but I know that's an option.
You're exactly right, Mark. Yeah, there is when you log in as an admin on government or business pages, there are options to set the security settings in that matter. And ours may already be set that way. I guess I didn't review how she built them. But my assumption is she has built all of the town pages, so it mirrors what the other pages look like.
I see.
And just to be clear, this is a page, not a group. So they do operate differently. So for those of us that are in the Wakefield groups, those can get entertaining. This operates a little bit differently, where it's more like someone's following it. So it tends not to get the responses that you would get in more of a free form group. It's more of, I think, from what we should consider is the example on Veterans Day. Somebody posts Happy Veterans Day. There may be someone out there with a different point of view. And, when we start rebutting that review, that opinion or something like that's where we could, as appointed people, we just need to be careful that we're not responding in an inappropriate way.
That's a good point. The difference between a Facebook group and a Facebook page. Are there co-admins to running a page?
Yeah, so right now it's the two of us. As I said, she can create, she can make other users admins and give them the same permissions that I have or that she would have. They would just have to get smart on the do's and don'ts. Don't get into a back and forth dialogue with the citizen over, to Joe's point, and those things. And it was very, very quick. It was a very quick read. Then I talked to her for a few minutes over Zoom, and she kind of gave me the thumbs up and said, "You're ready to go." And I guess the optimistic side of me thinks that the Veterans Advisory Board is generally not going to be a target of negativity. I think most citizens probably appreciate what the Veterans Advisory Board does for our veteran community.
Well, we were a target of something last time.
There could be rogue one-offs out there, but I think by and large we're probably a little more appreciated than some of the other councils and committees sometimes.
Yeah, I guess my concern to strengthen this would be to have Chris and somebody else on the board working together. Okay, so that there's a little bit of a tag team, in terms of, Chris may be knee deep in something that has nothing to do with our page and our group, and our board, and something starts to pop up on it that you miss. Okay, I can assure you, Jen's not looking at it 24/7 either, because she's
No.
managing all the pages in town. But if we had somebody else kind of sort of as a kind of a communication team with the social media piece, you know, receiving the messages and just double checking it for what's appropriate and what may not be appropriate.
I would also need help creating content, right?
Yeah.
Identifying the information, right? There's certain stakeholders, like we talked about, hail and farewell, welcoming veterans home. You know, a stakeholder there would be Mr. Mangan, right? I don't know that list. If I'm going to share, if we're going to talk about the businesses in town that are veteran friendly, I may need somebody from the Chamber of Commerce to help me identify those folks. Or if we're going to talk about monuments and veteran centric places, right? I don't know what organization that is.
Would that be the Wakefield Historical Commission?
But I will need help collecting stuff to share. Okay. So
is there anybody interested in working with Chris to kind of sort of oversee this, that has the availability to do that?
Yeah, I can
take
help you with
point if that makes
Chris.
it easier. Okay. I will. I'll shoot you an email at some point, either tonight or tomorrow. Just go direct to you, and then we can kind of work together a little bit and generate some ideas.
I missed it. Who said yes to?
No,
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Joe. So I guess just to make this formal, the motion on the table here is to proceed with moving forward with producing and operating the Facebook page for the Veterans Advisory Board. You want to second that, Robert?
Sure. Second.
Okay. All those in favor of promoting the Wakefield Veterans Advisory Board on Facebook with the Facebook page? Aye. Okay. Any opposed? Okay, seeing none. Chris, I think it's a good idea. We just have to, like everything that we do, you know, we got security is an issue.
Yeah, 100%. And oops, sorry, sir.
Go ahead.
And I enter into it lightly for now, right until we work the kinks out. So it will be a little, you'll see less frequent stuff as we get underway here. But maybe as I get more comfortable, we pick up steam a little more so. But I think it's it's worth trying, right? And then I did have a question. I think I emailed you yesterday about something I wanted to just quickly go over again. I have 4 dates. Several months ago, we talked about getting JROTC support for town events. I had 4 dates on the calendar based on the conversation you and I had offline. And I wanted to confirm what exactly we need for each of those 4 events. Do we need, do the cadets need to have real functioning rifles that can fire blank rounds? Because it may differ from event to event. So Veterans Day, 11/11/23, what capability do we need JROTC to possess? I have like 6 or 7 different JROTCs on board ready to support us.
That's a good question. For Veterans Day, it's an indoor ceremony.
Yep.
Honoring our veterans. We usually go with color guard. Boy Scouts did Memorial Day, Girl Scouts do Veterans Day, and we kind of go back and forth with that. And so on Veterans Day, the Girl Scouts will, we're going to ask the Girl Scouts to do the color guard. The Boy Scouts will lay the wreath. Okay. The only thing that I'm thinking for Veterans Day that might be appropriate is the missing man table ceremony. That the junior ROTC cadets could do. And we can include that in the Veterans Day ceremony.
Talking about the POW MIA table.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
Okay,
And the script that goes along with that
got it.
to kind of sort of highlight and remember those that are not with us. We're not going to
Okay.
on Veterans Day, we're not going to read the names, but
Understood.
and we're not going to ring the bell, because it's pretty much celebrating those of us that are veterans. But it would be appropriate to remember those that were not able to be there, and also those that have given their todays for our tomorrows. Is a
Okay.
good way of putting it.
Got
Yeah.
that.
You're breaking up, Chris.
Yeah, he's breaking up.
Next
I'm
date
curious.
on the
was
calendar was
somebody that
February
dis-
3rd. It's the Fort Chaplains Memorial.
Try to repeat your question again, Chris.
Is it,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is Dale
please.
Finley. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Dale.
Yeah, we
Okay.
made it.
Was he also saying for
Or-
this ceremony to have the ROTC with some a firing salute with rifles? Is that what I thought I heard?
He did say that.
I'm not opposed to it, okay, but you know, it's like what we have at the West Side Social Club. We're looking to have some ROTC people help replace our aging AMVETs, okay, and VFW people. They're not really that capable anymore of showing up. So it's an interesting point. It might work out that way.
I think we already talked about that, because I think that was one of the things, Chris, wasn't it, that I told you that we were looking for something for Memorial Day when we talked about the ROTC?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I had three
This
more
is-
events.
this
I had
is-
four.
I thought so. I thought we
I
had
had the
discussed,
Fort
yeah.
This
Chaplains
is
Memorial,
Veterans Day we're
then
talking about.
Memorial Day, then Flag Day. I was working my way through the calendar to
Right.
hit each of them. And I'm not saying we have to have a firing party for any of them. I was proposing, I was using that as an example, like what capability do we need them to have? So for Fort Chaplains Memorial on the 3rd of February, I'm unfamiliar with this one personally. So I don't know what the ceremony looks like or what the JROTC needs to be capable of.
That's a very small ceremony, very quick ceremony, to remember the 4 chaplains. And there's a memorial at the Temple Emmanuel on the outside door there. And we gather. It's about a 15-20 minute ceremony just to remember and honor those chaplains and the sailors that went down in the USS Dorchester. And the only reason the Temple Emmanuel is there is because there was a decision to put a monument there, which is very interesting because the Yule family used to live in that property, okay, here in Wakefield. And the Yule family turned that property over to Temple Emmanuel. And Captain Yule was a veteran who lost his life in World War II. And the Yule School is named after him. So there's some local pieces there that get tied together, but no music and ceremony beyond what we can bring with a kind of a cell phone and a little portable speaker. Okay.
More of a playing ceremony than.
We're not looking for JROTC support. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
I would summarize, though, to Dale's point, there are 2 events on Memorial Day that require the use of, an honor squad and firing the weapons. One is the West Side Social Club that Dale brought out and Marion brought out. The other is the town event for Memorial Day. And what I would like to do for Memorial Day is bring that back outside to the common.
I've done both. I've done both on some occasions. I've done both the West Side and the town of being involved with the rifle salute. And I don't see any reason why that couldn't be done again.
Yeah. The other thing that may be beneficial is Flag Day. Flag Day on the 14th is another opportunity to work with the Boy Scouts, but there may be an opportunity there to participate in that ceremony on the Common, and that's where we do a retirement of the flags that are no longer serviceable.
It was quite a ceremony this year with a lot of flags.
Yeah. So kind of, and the third one that was not mentioned is I would ask for Wreath Day in December for a firing squad or an honor guard at the cemetery.
That would be great.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's appropriate. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And and Wreath Day, just so you know, is Saturday, December 16th this year. And that's at Forest Glades Cemetery, and the ceremony starts at noontime.
Yeah. The ROTC thing, I think, is probably the best choice at this point. But the question is, are they going to be available for that many number of events? As a fallback, there's a potential that we can get people from the Reading Rifle Club, those who are ex-military, and there's a lot of them there, mostly Marines, who I think own weapons of their own and would be able to do that.
So just to address, so I do made contact with 6 or 8 JROTCs, all on the North Shore, and all are willing to help. So my thought was, after this conversation, to look at which ones can provide a firing party, which ones can't. Obviously, we narrowed to those couple.
Yeah.
But I think I did email you also something about how to request honor guard support, National Guard and Air Guard honor guard support. I think you and I talked about it a few months ago, maybe, and that's always an option too, right? They were at the thing at Landrigan Field.
Yes.
That was right around the time I came home, sometime in April, maybe, or May.
Yes.
Salute to Service event, I think it was called, maybe. So also an option.
Yeah.
But just so I have Veterans Day, it's going to be the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts, and maybe the JROTC with the POW MIA table. Memorial Day, 2 different rifle teams, one at the West Side Social, one at the town ceremony, and then Flag Day supported by Boy Scouts. Wreaths In Day on December 16th at noontime at the Forest Glades Cemetery. We're looking for a firing party or honor guard. I can I'll work some of those leads and see what we can come up with.
Chris, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
That
would be nice. It'll be so nice if we could have the firing squad for the Memorial Day at the West Side. It would just be super.
Yeah, I'll start working on that. I'll follow up with those ROTCs again this week. I kind of put them on the back burner for a few months, and I probably should have said, well, I'm still working through some details here. Give me time, but.
Any questions for Chris about that service and support from the junior ROTC schools?
Okay, just ask Chris, do you know anybody at Camp Curtis with the National Guard or some communications officer that might be available that we could, go to as far as, ceremony, somebody being deployed or coming back that would know ahead of time?
I do, yeah. I actually work at state headquarters on Hanscom Air Force Base in my other capacity, and I work in the same room as the mobilization and deployment folks. So I have an easy in to a list of units that are coming and going and people. I don't know how to request that from this capacity, but I can certainly figure that out. I think that answers your question, or did I just go in a really roundabout way here of not answering the question?
Chris, one of the things that the service award they get for the welcome home bonus for Wakefield veterans. That might be one of the things we can put on that page, social page, as well as if you have contact with them, to have them come to my office. I've already dealt with a couple of them over the last 2 years, where I've got the applications in for them, along with a copy of their DD 214s, scanned them and uploaded them. Do you do any work at all at Hanscom Field with the Medal of Fidelity or the Medal of Liberty awards that Jacqueline deals with through General McGurn's office?
I don't. I work directly under General McGurn, his office, not under him. I work on the floor below his, but I don't do anything with that. Yeah, I see him often, but I'm not familiar with that award.
I sent off a request today for a Medal of Fidelity for a Saugus veteran. When I had taken over the 3 different towns during the transitional periods, some of those veterans did pass away. And one of them recently I'm going to be putting in for the Medal of Fidelity will be for Tom Burton and for Joan, the family. That'll be going down. So there you go.
I guess Dan, I don't know if I answered your question earlier, sir, and I feel like I didn't, and I'm not sure.
I'd just like to see if they got a bus load of them leaving or coming back, that we can some way honor them or be there at Camp Curtis when they come back.
Okay, yeah, I can. I can certainly get, and I will make sure to do it through the appropriate channel so that I'm not blurring the lines here and creating some sort of conflict for myself.
But big thing with the National Guard is run out of Hanscom now.
Headquarters is at Hanscom. Yeah, there's a brigade level, a colonel level command at Camp Curtis Guild. I also have a small office there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Used to be out of Milford, I thought too.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it sure did.
Military records online. They're at Hanscom as well.
Yep, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah,
Chris, I'm gonna go ahead and move around just to kind of sort of get going here. If you have any other questions for Chris, please take them, email Chris your questions, okay? And I'm sure that he will follow up with you. Mark, do you have anything?
Nope, I'm good.
Nothing to report? Okay. Joe?
Nothing new.
Okay. Marion?
I really don't have a lot to report. I've been working on a lot of Gold Star Wives with new Gold Star Wives things. There's a lot of more. In fact, I'm going to at the coffee, I talked to Roseanne. We're gonna try and get together the Gold Star Wives in Wakefield, Melrose, and Saugus, so that she can talk to them. But there's quite a few of them, but they just don't seem to want to participate in everything. I also was upset to find out that there were hearings in the State House today regarding various Gold Star things, and something about the honor and remembrance flag. And I didn't get a notification. I'm supposed to be notified on anything like that, but I never got the notification. So we was not able to gather up the Gold Star Wives to be there. Which I would love to have been there, because I'm totally against what they're trying to do. But so now I have the connection that I will be notified. So I'm just hoping that the things that I sent out, people will send in to all the people involved. But that's there's not really a whole heck of a lot within the town other than trying to organize the Gold Star Wives. And we're also starting, the Council of Clubs in town will be starting to put together, excuse me.
God bless.
Our lists for the Thanksgiving baskets. We are kind of behind the, going to be a little problem, because Paul Facina, God love him, for years has been the one that sent out all of the requests for donations for the baskets, and he's got all of that all together, but his daughter said she did locate his notebook, so she's going to get that to us, but we'll have to start from scratch because he was the one that just did it automatically. And so now that he's gone, we'll have to get on that, but we'll get it done and get it. And I'll be contacting Dave's office to see if there's any more other than the veterans we do have already are going to be in need. And but other than that, that's pretty much what's all that's happening that I know of.
Okay, thank you, Marion.
Okay.
Dale,
Well, I've got a few things to discuss, but you have some of those items that I was going to discuss on your agenda. Do you want me to hold my
Go
comments
for it.
until we start talking about the other items on the agenda?
pick which one you want to go with, Dale.
Okay, I noticed you published the House bills and the Senate bills, okay, and I assume everyone got a chance to see those. I spoke to Paula from Donald Wong's office regarding those bills, and it becomes clear that those bills are strictly about adding cost of living as a COLA to the existing amounts, okay, which if you look at the $400, it's like $20 more a year that would generate to the individual, which to say the least is a drop in the bucket compared to the amount of money that is required to pay one's taxes now. The program has been in place for numerous years. When I say numerous, I mean decades, and that those numbers have not changed since then. And of course, Sam Stella mentioned that numerous times. But the problem is that that those bills they're not realistic, okay? Because if a person is getting $20 more for his service and his disability, but his insurance, his taxes go up $1,500 to $1,000 to $2,000 a year, he's really falling behind badly. When that program first came out, it was $400, but your taxes were in the area of $4,000 to $5,000. So it came out to be close to 10%. Now it's less than 5% of what your taxes are. Okay. So it needs to be changed, and I've asked Paula if we could have a meeting with Donald Wong to see if we can change those bills to be more in line with the reality of what is going on, and that the amounts need to be significantly increased for the 10% to 99%, and even for the 100%. Then also I've spoken to Victor, our tax assessor, and Victor is working hard with Mayo to come up with a town warrant to raise the amount of monies that veterans would be getting. And this is obviously isn't involving the state program, but it wouldn't take place, until 2025. That's the problem with this here. But even that's better than a small pittance of what the state is trying to pass. It's almost a joke, because it essentially is $20 more a year than
Dale?
what they're getting right now.
It's nothing.
Dale, could I just jump in quickly? I got to get
Sure.
off at 30 for the Historical Commission. But I called Jason Lewis's office, and they are working on it. I guess he is the sponsor of the Senate bill for that. And he
Yeah.
will be at the Wakefield Senior Center October 2nd for.
Okay. Okay,
But
I'll go talk to him. Yeah, that sounds great. Oh,
He is
I've only
responsible.
spoken to Wong's office. Okay. And that would be super to see if we can get both of them online in line to understand that numbers need to come up. I'm going to say 100%.
Well, okay, we need to be realistic here. I think the discussion, Dan's suggestion to have a discussion with Senator Lewis is a good one at the Council on Aging on October 2nd.
And he is the sponsor of that bill, so.
From the Senate, Kate Lipigaravedian is the House sponsor of
Yeah.
that bill.
Yeah,
If we could get the two of them together and Wong, but any real big increase to what the veterans get for abatements comes from the state, not from the town.
that's right.
So that's where you have to concentrate all your efforts, is on the state representatives, to get them to get other people in the state to get on board and support them to have this go up.
I
That's
understand
where you gotta
entirely.
go.
That's what I'm trying to do. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. The town is looking to increase our town with between Mayo and Victor are looking to
Right, Dan?
increase the amounts for veterans on their own. Okay. You don't have to follow the state policy. I don't know if they get reimbursed by the state. I didn't ask them that. Okay. But it's not that much money. Okay. We're not talking millions of dollars or anything like that. It's somewhere around, I'm going to say $100,000 is what we're looking at differences. Okay. Per year for this town.
So I'm
That's
gonna,
my estimate. Okay. That may or may not be accurate.
hey, anything else, Dale?
Nope. That's it.
Okay, Mr. Secretary, anything to report?
Nope, just that I'm still trying to wrap up some of the, logistics of folks swearing in and signing off on their ethics stuff. So we're almost at 100% compliance, but not quite. We've made some progress since last month.
How many are we missing?
I think one swear in and one sign off on the handbook.
I
Okay,
got mine in.
Yes,
Rob.
you did. Yes, ma'am. You are the progress, Marion.
I thought I had already put it in, so, oh well. But
Hey,
I've already
Rob.
got it in.
Robert, just FYI, I was on the email saying that I was missing something. I emailed Sherry and because I had done it and she said I was fine. So I just want to make sure you have that same info.
All right, thank you, Joe. I'll note that.
I'm gonna go ahead and kind of wrap up here quickly. The first thing that I will say, and I did say that a vote is required, but I'm going to put a request into town to move the service flags out of the conference room to bring them in the week before Veterans Day at the Galvin Middle School. Okay, that's all 6 service flags this time, not 5. There was an error on Memorial Day. The Space Force flag was mistaken as the POW flag because they're both dark colors. So they thought there were 2 flags of the same, and they left the Space Force flag in the town hall. So I'll be more specific in my request to move those to the Galvin, and having them there the week prior sets it up also for the Veterans Day program. I don't have anything other than to report. I do have the chaplain for the Veterans Day program. Okay. And the chaplain from the Methodist Church, Reverend Glenn Mortimer, is the town chaplain. He's also the chaplain of our Wakefield Fire Department, okay, which is a good link up for Veterans Day. And the first responders, fire and police do a great job. He also is the president or the chair of the Wakefield Council of Chaplains and the religious organization. So it's a good choice, and I'm glad that he's available. He's excited about it. I'm going to end tonight. The last thing I have, please take a look at the item today that came out. There's 2 things of interest. There's this really, really handsome veteran on the front page Okay, many of us know him. He's our veteran service officer, and he was the nice picture with Derek Robertson, presenting the plaque and thanking him. Okay, that's Dave Mangan, our VSO. But more important than that, it kind of the editorial page offers a very, very good read about Marine Walter Monaghan Jr. He is he's a Medal of Honor recipient from President Harry Truman during the Korean War, who lost his life during the battle in Korea in 1950, in September of 1950, during Incheon landing. I'm not going to read the whole thing. You can read it on your own, but I will highlight one thing. What this young man did is he personally took out 6 tanks to protect his unit. Okay, and he's a graduate of Greenwood School. I do believe that he went to Melrose High School, so he's back and forth. His family moved back and forth between Wakefield and Melrose. But what a terrific accomplishment that he did back in the 1950s, and he gave up his todays for our tomorrows. In doing it, he also saved a lot of lives in his unit for taking those tanks out. And the battle that he was involved with, most of it was close combat within 50 yards or less. Okay, and you can read about that. There's a picture that hangs in Town Hall of him and a memorial in Town Hall. So if you go into Town Hall, just take a look. Again, Marine Walter Monaghan Jr. Did his best to give us our freedom, and he gave us all.
Well, can I just say one thing that I was going to say earlier that I forgot?
So,
can we all be thinking about maybe sending out the notifications for donations for Wreaths Across America to decorate the veterans' graves earlier than we have? There's other organizations in town, as well as other organizations, my own Gold Star Wives being one across the state, that are all looking for donations for those wreaths. And I think waiting too late to get that out, sometimes we lose maybe donations that would come for us. So, and as Paul said to me earlier, we are low on the wreaths. So I think maybe we can think about getting that out right at the beginning or at the latest mid-October, get a flyer in the paper and stuff, so that we can, try and make sure we have enough money to have those wreaths for all of the town graves.
Chris could put a printable page, the actual document.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So people can print it from their computers.
Yeah, maybe we can finalize how we're going to do that at the next meeting. We'll come up with all that. But I just wanted to put the thought out there. Sorry, Paul, for interrupting you.
No, that's a perfect thing to put on Chris's plate for the Facebook page. And Joe and Chris can post that. I got to get you the form to post.
Right.
We have an account with Wreaths Across America, and we can post that on the Facebook page. That's a perfect example of what that can do for us. Thank you, David.
I suppose on that note, just my final thought is if you have anything else you'd like me to share at any point, please just send it my way with the 5 Ws, and we'll get it live for you. That's obviously goes for everybody. It's outreach is outreach.
Great.
Our next meeting is October 17th, 2023. Just a final call. Did Councilor Dombrowski show up? I didn't see him.
Nope.
And I didn't. There's nobody in the waiting room. So,
Nope.
Okay. So next meeting is Tuesday, October 17, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. I will say this, the week after that, both David and I will be gone at a conference. I believe that's appropriate. October 23rd to October 25 or 27. 27. You're on mute, David. But anyway, I apologize for running over. That's not a bad thing. I just want to hail each of you had a chance to talk, and that's important to the committee. That's important to us as a town. You guys are tired of hearing me talk. I'll have more detailed information next month about Veterans Day as I get feedback from those that have been invited. Okay, and we put the program together. It's going to be a smaller program. It's on Saturday, November 11th at 11 o'clock at the Galvin Middle School, and the band, Wakefield Memorial High School Band and Chorus have been invited. They do a terrific job. This year, I'm asking them to also provide a piece of their choice. And the theme, just to remind everybody, the theme for Veterans Day this year is service. And my goal is to get 3 generations of service on stage. Basically, veterans, those that are currently serving, and those that may be interested in serving. Okay. That's all I have. Anything, any other business that was not anticipated? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Dale, what's your vote?
It's muted.
Dale, you voted?
I voted yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Have a
Good
good
night,
night,
folks.
everyone.